Perfect. Okay, so the first one, harmonic patterns. I thought maybe just a quick before we start, what is a harmonic pattern? So explain for beginners. Where is are a type of complex patterns that occur naturally in financial charts based on geometric price action and Fibonacci levels. I mean, I don't think we have to go deep into exactly what it is, but yeah, this pattern, this is the Gartley pattern, right? Or is this? I think so. Why these patterns important? I mean, I find them amazingly, I mean, accurate. If you go on the, for me, especially the 4-hour time frame, and especially specific patterns. I mean, and using them in line with something else is, I find it, yeah, definitely worth looking into. I use mainly this indicator here, and the reason why I like it so much is because I think that the team who made it, that they back tested, you know, more than one time frame and more than one pattern, and then used what they found statistically worked the most. So it's only for the 4-hour time frame. If I go to 1 hour, it's not. You see here in the corner, bullish Gartley 1 hour. There's nothing. And what I especially like about it is this invalidation, like this invalidation box. Like here on, this is what, silver. If price would not have bounced here, what would have happened is until it would break this point, the pattern would like stretch out. This wing or whatever you call it would become like a bigger pattern. The dashboard I like also, but that doesn't have that, like it doesn't have that feature. There is no invalidation. So that's why for my daily, I mean, this is the one that I focus on. But I like the dashboard. It's because you can they have all the patterns and you can choose all the time frames. I personally 4-hour daily like my favorite, but I mean, here are some interesting things I just noticed. I hadn't had the monthly on for a while, but did it now for the Zoom. And I mean, we have a monthly bearish cipher pattern on New Zealand versus Japanese yen and the Aussie yen. That's quite interesting. Those are not the patterns though that they are not my favorite, but damn, that would be crazy if I mean, if this would play out, if we see a drop, I mean, that would be kind of crazy. Are we starting a risk-off scenario soon? I mean, who knows? Interesting for sure. Euro Aussie here on the daily. Bad pattern, yeah, already starting to play out. Interesting. What I wanted to discuss a little was what I saw after the NFP on Friday was that different USD pairs had bullish patterns. Here, the New Zealand dollar. I mean, just when it just started to play out straight away, basically, no, from when the pattern came. And I mean, it was a good time here. This is hours. So normally going into NFP, even if a pattern like this is, I would not have, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy, you know. But but since we had, here's the New Zealand, dollar Swiss had a bearish one at the same time. Then we had.
I've got a question for you, Andri.
Yeah.
Would you have your stop loss at the invalidation level? If you go back to your prior chart, is that where you'd have your stop, right at the bottom of that? Because that's quite wide, isn't it?
That's quite wide. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's say if I were to have played this on on Friday, I probably would not have, but I mean, the pattern is still valid if price would have came all the way down here. So if you're putting this for your trade, then yeah, in theory, you would have to put your stop below here for it to be safe.
It would still be a valid bullish harmonic, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So we had New Zealand and the Euro also, dollar Swiss. I mean, basically Euro dollar and dollar Swiss is it's the, I mean, they move the same, so it kind of makes sense that they have the pattern at the same time. Then we had New Zealand, then we have Aussie also. Which I mean, another they also pretty much move the same. And then we didn't have a pattern on gold, but we had it on silver. If I would have been paying attention, I would have. I mean, it's kind of nice seeing if you see it on silver for a conviction, you know. Yeah, these were some proper moves. Some proper moves here on Friday. Then there's another thing. how I think a pattern is more valid or more likely to play out. Obviously, you have to think about some fundamentals, you know. But it's I try to. For me, the pattern is most valid if it's coming into a zone, you know, a demand or a supply. So looking at where came here, do we have any zone here? I mean, yeah, basically from, I mean, now this would have to be based on the order block, not really and I mean, one dip, didn't come, boom, dipped into. So yeah, not the ideal zone maybe here, not the best action, but definitely this could have been a good one. I was kind of pissed that I didn't see it, because if more than one pair, if it was only euro dollar that had it, I wouldn't have a high conviction. I've seen this like with the pound, when pound had the bullish pattern for it on multiple pairs. I mean, that just gives you better conviction of it playing out. Let's look at some euro yen bullish on the 4 hour to close the week, and a cipher pattern. Cipher pattern is a little bit like couldn't this be like a little bit like a trend line here, maybe? Because it's a semi-straight. The cipher patterns are different, more like a continuation pattern than a reversal. Euro Aussie to the downside, that made sense. Aussie CAD. I think this Aussie CAD one could be a good one. Why? I mean, Aussie CAD is now clearly has started this downtrend, right? been trending lower here quite consistently, and now we have the pattern. And where is it? I mean, we obviously have, this would be, oh, there's not really any nice zone here. Yeah, this could be a good one for next week. COT data also showing more bullishness in the CAD than the Aussie. Older patterns here. Pound dollar bearish on the daily 3 days ago. Yeah, and somewhat. I mean, it's prices.
That looks quite overextended, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't know if it formed here before and then failed as it broke through. That's the thing with the invalidation. I mean, if let's say the pattern came first on this candle, I mean, where does it invalidate? It's a good. That's why I like the other one, having knowing exactly. I mean, where was the pattern wrong? It seems like on this indicator, if price would just go a little bit above this high, it would invalidate instantly.
So this is the Harmonic Dashboard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is available on the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I can share the other one also.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, for me, it's I think I've been using it 2 years or something, and it is. We can scroll through a little bit, see what the action has been here in other pairs. So euro dollar obviously played out. Here, euro pound. I mean, this isn't not for me. It's not the ideal pattern because it's happening. It's a little bit awkward pattern. The bigger the pattern, usually the better. If it's happening if it's coming up in a little bit choppy action or not clean action, it's less relevant for me at least. But I mean, this one played out, and look how wait, is the no. I think the box is still fine here. So wow, it came. I mean, it wicked just to the end of the box exactly, and then it's starting to go. Yeah. Some others. Euro Aussie here. I mean, this pattern we're aligned with. This is the bearish butterfly, but we have a daily pattern, which is a bearish bat. So I mean, that's another nice confluence, right? Having the pattern on both indicators and even on a different time frames. But yeah, played out perfect. But again, this is a smaller kind of not the ideal pattern. And where is it? Is it coming into? Let me see. Daily. Is it coming into a level here? Not really. I mean. But yeah, played out perfect. Again, I would not, you would not trade this like with any high conviction. Oh yeah, it has a bullish pattern. Let's buy it. It's very small and happening in this small choppy range here. But still, so far, I mean, it's pushing up. Aussie dollar one. What should you see? Aussie Swiss. Which makes sense. I mean, Aussie Swiss and Euro Aussie basically. I mean, basically same. Aussie CAD, another small one there that played out. Nothing on the pound. I mean, again, small pattern, but it makes sense that we're seeing a lot of small patterns now because I mean the price action has been just quite choppy. But still, this one played out quite nicely. How much is that in? Is that maybe the buy that Marco took? He said he bought GA last week. Yeah, damn, and it ran 230 pips. Now there's a small one once again on the pound CAD, already starting to play out. Pound Swiss. New Zealand Swiss. And not on the Euro, no. And yeah, damn, I wish I had noticed this on Friday. I would have taken probably dollar franc and New Zealand, just small, with a tightish stop probably. Dollar CAD did not. I don't know what this is. Dollar franc, dollar yen. Nothing on gold, but silver had. I mean, that's a wide invalidation. Silver, you would have to, if you're going to put your stop below here, it will have to be a small position. Oh, I hadn't seen this, but I mean, once again, so small, you would not count on it, but it definitely did play out. Let's look at Bitcoin, see if we have a nice big bullish pattern. Nope. So yeah, not much more. I like to use divergence also. I mean, for me, the 4-hour time frame for this is perfect. And if price is coming into supply, demand, or order block, perfect. But if it has I mean, I personally use the RSI divergence. I know there are different types of divergences to use. Basically, if if price is making a higher high, but on the RSI it's making a low, then that's the divergence, and it works well with those patterns in my view. So yeah, I don't know if I have much more on that. I mean, okay, I'll share the indicator. People can check it out. It's definitely this one. Yeah, 2 years I've been using it. It's been working quite well. If it's aligning with something else alone, you need to be careful. I don't know what the percentage of like with this indicator, how many of them actually play out, but more than half, I would say more than half. So that alone, I mean, if and that's if you take nothing, if only the pattern. So if you have something else telling you that price is likely turning, then it's good for conviction.
Were we going to cover FXSSI indicators as well in this video, or is that going to be a video for another time?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I don't think I have much more to say about the harmonics. I mean,
I like this example because it's an order block and harmonic confluence, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's just really good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we can go over the SSI indicators. I mean, once again, I'm no expert, and there's a lot of indicators there that are definitely useful, but I'm not using them. You know, when I just took the few things that made sense, and I've just stuck with it. I haven't, you know, messed with the settings. I didn't even realize there were settings until recently. It's just, yeah, it's just, and I mean, all those indicators are giving us is this data, right? It's this data on retail traders in different forms. So these are the one here, stop loss clusters. Obviously, I mean, this is definitely the most important one, right? The order book, the current ratio, and obviously the current ratio, very, very important. And I love it that it has so many that, you know, it's not only my FX, but it has so much data. I mean, Oanta, I think that's the biggest broker in America. So I mean, I would think this would be a very good overall of the retail market. You know, enough data to yeah, really get some accuracy from it. And profit ratio and trading activity. So trading activity basically just, I use this one here in the middle. You have percentage. You know, I don't even know what this is. So increase or decrease. I focus on the increase. See, you know what I mean. The decrease is less important to me, at least. You know, so what are they? I mean, are they buying or are they selling now? And then the profit ratio. That's also can be a good one, telling you, I mean, if price goes up here now too many, gives you like a signal, now too many traders who are buying are in profit. So it's a good confluence with like if you're buying and price goes up and it hits the cluster and you see the profit ratio here, give the red dots, I mean, take some profit at least. I like to do this. Let's see some other, let's go maybe euro dollar. To put the net. Sometimes it makes it a little bit more, I don't know, visible, but of course it's good to see all the orders. And I like that we see the limit orders, because I find it, let's say we move up here and this here becomes the new cluster where all those sellers are waiting. I mean, and I'm buying, price comes up here. I know if it hits the cluster, I mean, and there's so many buyers sitting there at where the stops are, price is more likely to keep going up, or I mean, if it comes up here, let me change this to black. If it comes up here, triggers all those buyers. I mean, either sellers. I mean, sorry, either just a small pullback and then keep going, or just, I mean, beast mode and just keep going. So I like looking at both, having a little bit view of what is taking action at each price. Euro Aussie, that's an interesting one since we have the patterns. What are retail doing? 58% is buying. Wow, that changed quick, I think, because I don't think that was the case not too long ago.
It did. It shifted a lot.
Yeah, probably just on Friday.
Yeah, on that move. Yeah, it really moved.
Yeah. So I mean, that's good. I think I have it here. Still, I marked the daily and shared in the group. What I thought. Let me see. Yeah. This theory here that this was an accumulation, a stop run, out of it. And I mean, now it's been chopping here for ages, but so when we were here, I thought it makes sense that price drops. And I mean, in risk on environment that we clearly are in, this makes sense. If it gets all the way down here, or how long it takes, or who knows, I'm not sure, but I might look into this trade for this week. The order book. I mean, now the cluster is bigger below us, and I mean, it's just below us. What am I expecting now? What do they do? I mean, all the time, and of course, it makes perfect sense. They stop price now. If majority is buying, and it drops, so they're buying. What do? They don't just go straight, take you out. No, they bounce here a little bit. Get in more buyers, get buyers at least a little bit confident, and then boom. And a good example here, we have a decent amount of buy limits waiting here where the stops are. So it's more likely when they take the stops that it at least goes a little bit lower. If you think, okay, where the buyers here, where do they have their stops? I mean, it's at least 10 pips below, maybe 20, maybe 50. So it makes sense that they want to take out as much of those fresh buyers as possible. So yeah, good one for the week.
Another question for you, Andri.
Yeah.
Why? I know the answer to this, but just in case anyone's new and watching this video, why is the Euro Oz risk on? Just so that people know.
Risk on. Risk
yeah.
on. Yeah.
Why is it?
Sorry, once again.
So, like, say if someone's brand new and they're watching this video, why is the Euro Oz like a risk on indication?
Yeah. Okay. Risk on means money is flowing into riskier assets and out of safe havens. That's normally, that's the simple explanation. So, so what are risk assets? It's the stocks, right? And today, I guess you could say risk assets are cryptos, obviously, also.
Yeah.
What are safe haven assets? It's usually supposed to be the dollar. Out of the currencies, it's mainly the Japanese yen. That's the #1 safe haven. Obviously, treasury bonds, something that you're not supposed to lose your money though. Though the yields today don't really cover the inflation, so you're basically losing your money by buying them. But that's considered the safe haven. Yeah.
But the Oz is riskier than the Euro. That's like what you're trying to get at.
No.
The Aussie. Or the Euro is riskier than the Aussie.
No, it's not. No, not really. It's not that the currency is the risk. That's currency is more, they more respond to the risk. It's not, I mean, sure, the Japanese yen is a safe haven currency, but Aussie is not. It's not a safe haven currency. The euro is. I mean, the euro is starting to behave a little bit like one sometimes. And of course, the Swiss franc is also, and they seem to, for the most part, move very similar at least. So yeah, risk on, stocks go up. Normally, I mean, we're seeing a little bit whack in the correlations recently, right?
Yeah,
full-blown risk on, but still the yen is gaining. It's yeah, crazy. That can be for multiple different reasons also, but overall those correlations they are there, and if they diverge a little bit, eventually they will correct. I mean, you're not going to see the Japanese yen rally and the risk on, you know, the VIX coming down, the index is pumping for a longer period. I mean, it could happen for a day, for a week maybe, but eventually either the risk will have to come down or the Japanese yen will have to come down.
Because the fundamentals are so strong.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay, I thought maybe have a look at a few pairs. Let's see, just for the week, what I'm thinking. I mean, this when Dixie, when price broke above here, it didn't do it right. It didn't manage. This week still makes this valid, but when we closed above, I thought price would go here. Why? Because this is the nearest supply, 50% candle, strong move from it, but it didn't. But that doesn't mean now price is obviously coming here and stalling. So I mean, it can either pump back up, and now this one is gone. No need to. And where is the new one? Here. But what I didn't pay attention to, and what stopped price on Friday was, if you take the order block theory, and this is the order block, right? The price did come into the order block and reverse. So for next week, I mean, I'm holding my bearish view on the dollar. What it does short term, I don't know, but I mean, until this zone here, this order block, obviously it started here, right?
It looks a little bit like rounding out a little bit, doesn't it? Do you not think?
Yeah.
At the bottom, it looks like that could potentially be a bottom.
I mean,
a bit tricky, like a U, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a really tricky, and I think I talked about it a little bit the last time. I mean, the reason why the dollar is being so choppy in every pair is because we are in bigger time frame zones, right? If we take that, let's do the order block here. No, yeah. I mean, price is trying to, and I mean, if that, I'm gonna say not if, I think it's more when that happens, that we're gonna see a bigger move even all the way down here. I wouldn't be surprised. And from the weekly, I mean, here is the nearest. Of course, you have to think of all this space, but where did the move start from? Where is the nearest order block? So I mean, if price breaks below this red candle here, what is it, 88, 87-ish, then I mean, almost for sure will it break through this whole area. It's at least it becomes more likely on the close below this that the whole area gets taken out. And from this, obviously, we have a fresh one now here that we have to take the body of the red candle. So I mean, these are obviously massive zones, and I mean, and potential big price changes if they break. So it makes sense that it's not just going through with the ease. It's taking its time, but we are not seeing any signs. I mean, any real strong signs, at least, that the dollar wants to reverse. And I mean, and I would think after coming into contact with these higher time frame zones, that if that was the case, we would already see it. You know, it wouldn't be this whole action here. Wouldn't be, I mean, coming down, bouncing back down, and now, I mean, it's definitely to me looking like it wants to go lower.
And of course, because we're risk on, it's going to hurt the dollar as well. So we have to remember that.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I mean, I know the dollar has been a bit crazy and everything a little bit not correlated, but the dollar is a safe haven. They are printing, they are, you know, depreciating the value of the dollar. So while we remain risk on, the dollar should drop. Just simple as that. So dollar pairs really annoying, really tricky, not my favorite lately, but I hope, I mean, where was it? I thought when we broke, where was it? I thought that when we broke through this one, this is like, so when price dipped here down, that's when I thought, okay, now it's starting. We're gonna keep going finally, but no, just straight back. So definitely interesting. Now, what has to happen next week? That first thing first. If this gets taken out, then I would probably look to buy like euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar. That's first thing first. I mean, now I wouldn't be surprised to get some choppy. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully not, because this is going to take forever. But I mean, considering what has been going on, it definitely makes sense that it's going to keep taking its time. And hopefully here bounce one more time a little and then crack through, and then yeah, and I think it's going. Once this low here gets broken, I think, you know, this move might escalate. We might start get the dollar breaking down a little bit faster. Here's the 10-year yields. Normally, I mean, why do we look at that? Look at the 10-year yield? Because it affects, I mean, can affect both the dollar and also obviously gold. When gold came down, it was because the yields were rising, right? And I am expecting the yields to drop. Price hit this here. We broke through this, but here is obviously weekly supply. And I mean, right now the weekly is looking. This is looking. I mean, I don't know. I guess it might bull flag here a little bit, or just come down. I'm expecting lower. Gold is just looking super bullish.
And this will affect dollar yen as well, the 10-year, because it's got a high correlation with the dollar yen.
Yeah.
Well, it used to anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. Used to. Yeah. More used to. Today, many of those correlations are a little bit off, definitely. This big drop here. Why? Listen, my zone now is here because it's a weekly. Obviously a strong zone. Nice rejection here. Came back into it, drop, a big into it, big drop, and now we're heading higher. So why did we get that drop? Because price came into this, right? Nice rejection. Where did we stop? I had this one. Didn't, because it came here. I was expecting it to at least come down here. I was even afraid it might keep going, but definitely got the rejection there. I don't know why. Smaller time frame. Yeah. I mean, if it's not clear on the, I normally don't go to the 1 hour, but if it's not clear on the 4 hour, I look lower, and I mean, you can see it here clear, both the demand and order block. Wick into it and a massive rejection. So expecting gold higher. This was just perfect, and I mean, it made perfect sense. They were, first of all, they had been getting paid because they, I think from, I don't know, from here somewhere, they were buying, actually getting paid.
Yeah, the retail were getting paid a lot in gold.
Yeah, and then they kept buying, and I think on this drop or something, or on this drop, they went in quite hard. I think the SSI went to 68%, now down to 64. Yeah, I think it was 68. The gold definitely could be a good one next week for a move higher to target that. To target, where is it?
It's tricky for us because sentimentally it's actually a sell, and that's the trouble, isn't it? It's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true. But I mean, but you know, things can change fast. If price keeps going, this 64%. I mean, if it went from 68 on Friday,
yeah, it can keep moving.
It could in two days even, you know, it could be majority selling already. And I mean, gold, it's been strange. More than in other pairs, it seems like gold's been retail been getting paid a little bit on gold lately. But I mean, gold does these crazy things with the big moves. I mean, proper damage on both sides always. So I guess it makes sense. It seems I'm running out of time since I'm not. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. Is that, when did it pop up? Okay, let's maybe look at one more. I like oil. I'm trying to look a little bit outside of the dollar pairs. What happened here is that I think, yeah, I watched Burak video today. It came out. I think he said there was some breakout out of his lines, which aligns perfectly with what I'm seeing here. When we closed above this yeah, crapping a little bit supply here, but when price managed to get above here and then breaking above this, for me it's going to this weekly, very clear, right here, perfect order block, perfect supply, and a big move down from it. So I mean, when it touches this, it's not gonna break through. It's a perfect, it would be a good spot to short when we get there. But until then, I'm gonna look for a quick buy next week on some, let me see, on some pullback, maybe just if we take the nearest, something like this, maybe dip into 68-ish and a push up to 73. I think that would be a good one. The indexes. So here is the hurdle we're trying to get through. Where is the origin of it? Here. And I mean, this is obviously a strong supply here, as we saw this massive drop from it.